Alright, so I'm gonna make a video because I think that I need to actually explain some things as I go, and not just edit, but actually explain why. So when I look at your resume, the first thing I notice is that your LinkedIn and your portfolio links are very long. They took up a lot of space. They honestly, ideally, should be one line together, not one line each. So maybe like using like a link shortener might be a good idea. Like the most common is like Bitly or something like that. So that's like kind of the first thing. You don't want like, that's a lot of text to just be a link, especially if it's like not really relevant. If your portfolio is located at I don't know, like a hosting website, if you can, I don't know if you have like your own website, since obviously you graded out. But oh, it looks like a Google link. Never mind. Okay. All right. So, Bachelor of Technology degree. I would not write this BTech thing here. You already have that at your Bachelor of Technology. I don't even, you might even just be able to be like Bachelor of Technology and then like comma, automotive and vehicle engineering technology or whatever. So you could probably take this line out, honestly. And that'll give you some more space down below. Mohawk College, that's not where you... Okay, so I'm guessing this is like a... Mohawk College was more of a community college. That's kind of what I get from this. And then you got like sort of an associate's. I'm not really sure what an advanced diploma is. But yeah, that's fine. I'll leave it. If we really, really need space, we can try to like compress that a little bit, like get one more line out of it. All right, let's go to experience. So experience section, the first problem I see here is this CarMax heavy stamping. That's the company. I'm guessing you're in the manufacturing engineering co-op. Right now, it looks like that CarMax line is heading all of these sort of projects and positions, which isn't accurate. You know what I mean? You want to show that the CarMax heavy stamping is linked specifically only to this manufacturing engineer co-op. Unless you did like the pump jack design or whatever within the CarMax heavy stamping company. But I'm guessing it's just linked to the manufacturing engineer co-op. So that can be done using like a just formatting. What do I suggest? I would perhaps actually make the manufacturing engineer co-op, maybe that can be like italicized. And then all of these projects, all the subsequent projects can be in the same, instead of bolded, italics instead of bolded. All of the other projects can be in this same font, the CarMax heavy stamping font. Basically, you just want to like split those two because it looks like the CarMax is like all of them. So hopefully you can figure that out. If you need more help, I can help you out. Okay, so let's look at your bullet points. So created a 3D CATIA V5 number 1. It doesn't matter that it's version 5. V5? What, V5 version 20? I don't know if it really, the version numbers necessarily matter. I would just say CATIA. Math model, I'm going to be accidentally drawing here and there, so I'm going to have to erase it. Okay, so when you say JT 2020 ASSYSILL, I'm guessing that's the part number or the part name in, like, at CarMax company or whatever. That's the part name of a part. I don't really want to know the part name because that doesn't really mean anything to me. Those, like, 40R1 EOAT, like, I don't know what that means. Maybe if you were, I would just do like a description of like what this actually is. What is this? And so like if it's a, I don't know, the problem is I don't know what it is, so I can't like give you an example. So it's like, instead of saying like, like, like in a tire, like if you're making a tire and you say like the tire name, like, Firestone, like XYZ, 5029, blah, 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 blah. Like you can look up like what that means, like on Google, but it's much easier if you just said, Firestone tire or Firestone, like, 20-inch, tire. So instead of like actually using those numbers, then tell me what it is, because those aren't like really common abbreviations. Okay, this was done in response to an FCA complaint regarding the drawn arc T-stud angularity. Again, I don't really know what that number is. It doesn't mean anything to me. I actually don't really know what you mean by drawn arc T-stud angularity. I understand that I kind of told you, I probably told you to be more specific. Actually, you know what, let's pull up your old one. Where is it? I'm going to show you all of my photos probably. Let's see. UR81. Apologize for random ass pictures. Is that it? No. Oh, that's what we're looking at now. So let's go back. It's older. Ah, this one. Okay. Ah, okay. I actually didn't really touch this at all. Okay. Good to know. All right, I'm going back. I didn't touch this. So now I'm touching this. I think it's because I thought you had more important issues, and now we can get like closer in on like these details and the wording and stuff like that. So let's do it. I apologize again for the random pictures of makeup inspiration. Oh God. But okay, so getting back to it. So what does this mean to me? So this was done in response to, so there was a complaint. You used CATIA, or you created a CATIA. I'm not really sure what math model means either. What? because CATIA obviously is 3D CAD software, and I'm not sure what you mean by math model of like within the CAD software. I'm not really sure what you mean by that. So you did this. You made this model because of this complaint regarding this specific parts. I guess the angularity is I'm gonna guess it's like an angle between two specific, I don't know, stud locations. I don't know. Okay. So you did that. The drawn arc support details were fabricated and installed. Okay, so you created a CATIA 3D model, you modified a part, and then you tell me why the part was modified, like what the problem was, this T-stud angularity problem. And then you fabricated you made a change, and you fabricated and installed it again. The process changes were monitored. That doesn't tell me anything. I don't know what that means. Take it out. Okay, so it resulted in a decrease of downtime by 4% and an increase in yield by 7%. Thus, OEE, so I'm not in manufacturing, I'm not in manufacturing at all. Is OEE a common acronym? If not, then you need to say what that means, and then like in parentheses write OEE. So I would, make sure that if this isn't a common acronym, then you say what it actually means. And okay. So ideally, what I'm trying to do here is condense this. How many sentences is this? 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I technically took that one out. 5. I want to take this 4 or 5 sentence sort of paragraph and condense it into one, maybe longish sentence. So let's try to see. Let's try to see if we can say why it was done a little bit more, maybe succinctly or elegantly. So it was done in a response to a complaint. They might not even actually want, if you're they might not even want to say that there was a complaint. Like, is that a proprietary? Like, is that like shareable information? I'd be a little careful with that, actually. I haven't even thought about that, really. You can actually just say, hey, you modified it and it made things better by X%. You probably don't need to say why, because it can be implied that if you change something and it got better, then it wasn't very good to begin with, and that's why you changed it. You changed it in order to make it better and improve it. So honestly, let's actually take that sentence out as well. This was done in response, blah, 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 blah. Because I understand you're trying to say why you did it, but if you say that, hey, it resulted in, awesome things, then, the why is obvious, because, obviously it wasn't good before and you made it better. Okay, so let's look at this next sentence, this drawn arc support details. I'm guessing the drawn arc support details is that like a it doesn't seem like a separate part. Is that a separate part within the assembly that you specifically changed? So I'm gonna actually suggest you say, created a 3D CATIA math model of a modified, you know, whatever this is. Then I'd say, comma, so you created the model, comma, fabricated it, comma, and installed it. I would take this part out as well then. Created, so your verbs are created, comma, fabricated, comma, installed, comma, resulting in, I'm going to say resulting in a decrease of downtime by 4%, an increase in yield by 7%, and OEE increased by 9.4%. I don't like this thus. I'm sorry, I'm going to take it out. I'm going to say and. A. Okay. Cool. So do you see how I kind of maybe made sure you were communicating the general gist of what you're doing, like fabricating, installing, creating the model, but and you include like the you know, result, which is great, but the details, I don't know if you necessarily need them. You can always say them verbally, but yeah, that was a lot of time spent with one line. I don't know if I'm gonna make a video. Would you watch? I don't know. Would you watch the whole thing if I kept doing this? I guess you can always turn it off if you get bored and just, you know, read it. I read the comments. I apologize if it's boring. All right, let's try again. We're going to do the same thing for the next one. Thankfully, that one was like the longest, I think. Oh gosh, actually, I now realize they're all kind of paragraphs. They're not really bullets. Okay, cool. That's all right. We'll work through it. Okay, identified a downtime error on DT SIL line. Is DT SIL line a common, DT SIL line, is that like a common manufacturing term, or is this like specifically to this company? Because like obviously the people who are going to read this aren't going to be from your company, so you need to like let people know what these acronyms are. All right, so you identified an error, you modified the existing tooling to incorporate a camera. Okay, modified to incorporate a camera to integrate for 2D robot offsets. I don't understand what you mean by you say incorporate and then you say integrate right afterwards, and I don't know if that makes sense to me. So you change this tooling to add this camera, to integrate for 2D robot offsets. So the tooling integrates to the robot offsets, or the camera only itself integrates to 2D robot offsets. I don't know. That's a little confusing. I'm going to write confusing here. This confusing. Okay. Okay, project reduced collision with racking system. To decrease downtime by 2%. I'd honestly, if I were you, I'd take this reduced collision with racking system. I might put that at the beginning, actually, of this bullet point. and say capital R, reduce collision with racking system. This here. Oh gosh, my straight line abilities are quite terrible. Okay, so this part I want. That's actually a pretty cool, strong opener. I would actually use this as your opener. And go, weep, put it here. So you reduced the collision with the racking system by identifying this error, right? I'm going to say by identifying, oh God, hopefully you're watching the video because I don't know. All right, I'll go back in and change it. I can't read that either. Identifying downtime error. Okay. By identifying, so then you have to change your this to modifying to match. Modifying existing tooling. I'm going to say and here and take the semicolon out. So right now I changed it to reduced collision time with racking system by identifying downtime error and modifying existing tooling to incorporate the thing that I didn't really get. And then you could say like, again, like, at the end, you can say all you can say like decreasing downtime by 2% and add that like little bit at the end, decreasing downtime by 2%. Does that make sense? That sounds better to me than before. But obviously, if it doesn't sound better to you, you can keep it how it was. Okay, cool. Let's go to the next one. Undertook responsibility of program manager of 2014 DS program. The program consisted of 2 Class A stamping and 2 Class C stamping. Duties included primary contact for internal and external issues. So instead of like writing a little paragraph about this program manager position, and like explaining it that way, you want to kind of phrase it similarly to these other 2 bullets that we've worked on. So like, and you could probably move this, what are your verbs here? Your verbs are undertook, right? Undertook. Your verbs are, I'm guessing this should be like act. Act as the prime. That's the verb there. The acting as the primary contact. Administration, I guess, can be technically a verb. Of engineering changes, quality issues, and CI activity. So you administered these engineering changes, quality. Did you administrate the quality issues? Did you administrate the CI activity? I was going to say, what does CI mean? And then you defined it later. You want to define an abbreviation like this. You want to define it the first time you use it. So you say continuous, I say improvement. So write that in there the first time you use it, and don't write it in like later. So once you define it, you can use the letters by themselves down later. But you know, when you first use it, you got to define it up there. Okay, let's see. So we have undertook, act as the prime contact. So again, it's a little confusing if you mean the administration, if you're administrating engineering changes, quality issues, and your continuous improvement activity? Are you administrating all three of those things? If so, then you can't really put a comma here, because then there's two verbs that you're using, this act and this administrate. Okay, and then the engineering changes, quality issues, and CI activity becomes like a little list of 3 items. And obviously if you have 2 items, you don't like put a comma, you have to write an and. So the act and the administrate or administration, those are the 2 item list. Okay, cool. So how are we going to make this into a good single line, not line, single sentence? Okay. Let's see. You could start off with, the reason why I'm focusing on this last bit, this act and this administration, because those are the actual, like, things you're doing. Those are the actual, like, actions. Whereas, like, the other 2 sentences don't really say any actions. So I'd probably go with, you could start with undertook. So undertook responsibility. I would say like, undertook responsibility of, again, I have no idea what this DS program is. What does this DS mean? DS, question mark. And you haven't defined it anywhere, I don't think. No. So you were a program manager for this 2014 program. You could say acted as program manager, including, I guess you can't say acted because you're going to say acted later. You could say undertook responsibility of program manager, comma, acting as contact for internal and external issues, and administrating engineering changes, quality issues, and CI activity. I think that's enough. I think you could take out this line, because you can always say, oh, well, what was the DS program about, or what was it like? You could say that verbally. And I would personally do it that way. Okay, I'm gonna kind of, so hopefully you heard me verbally. I don't know if I can really write that out because I don't think there's enough room. But yes, okay. Hopefully my mic's on. Okay. Next bullet point, designed and integrated tooling to reduce cycle time in response to continuous improving. Utilizing the engineering design cycle, incorporating lean manufacturing concepts. So these are 2 separate things, I'm guessing. Utilizing engineering design cycle and incorporating lean manufacturing concepts. Okay. So what did you do? You designed and integrated tooling. Why did you do it? To both, or to reduce the cycle time. And, how you utilized the engineering design cycle and you incorporated these lean manufacturing concepts. If you want, you can honestly write down what lean concepts you added. I don't know if that would make you feel like it would be a stronger item here, but if you want, you could say which here. I don't know if you want to like name drop like, I don't know, lean concepts. I don't know very many. I don't know, Kanban, Kaizen, stuff like that. So yeah, so I would lowercase this and put a comma here afterwards. Okay, cool. Yeah, we got one section done. I've been talking for a while. So I'm gonna turn off the video, I think, for the rest of this. Because there's a lot, and this video is gonna be like 5 hours long. Yeah, so hopefully you get that.